Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence today. I've come out to Liverpool Street. You can see the big skyscrapers and stuff in the background. Just because this is the home of the London Stock Exchange, this is kind of the financial capital of one of the big political capitals of the world, right? This is where a lot of the, let's call them elites, come to, trade their bits of money and do business deals and that kind of thing, right? And the reason I thought I would come here and do this little video is just to make the point that, all the evil people that are knocking about, that cause so much harm and hardship and suffering, right? When I say they're human, I don't mean that in like they're human beings, you need to feel sorry for them sort of way. What I wanted to do was just sort of amplify the fact that they are just sort of like us, right? They might have different brains, they might be psychotic. I mean, there's that study that showed that 90% of multi-millionaire CEOs are psychopaths, right? Or whatever the statistic was. There's a lot of mentalists knocking about in these buildings here. That one there, right, just past the horse, that's the Lloyd's horse, right, past that building. I don't know what that building is, but you can bet that there's some dodgy fuckers in there doing some dodgy fucking deals. And even if it's legal, what they're doing, everything that they're doing is completely legal, it might not be completely moral. Like it was moral, for instance, sorry, it was legal for Nescafe or whatever it was to cause all them like Ghanaian women to not be able to breastfeed properly. Because what they did, they gave a load of milk, like breastfeeding milk in bottles. You can get that stuff in bottles. And they sent it all out to Ghana as like some big charity. Oh, look, we're doing really good things for the poor people, right? So they send all this breastfeeding milk over to Ghana, right? And then as a result, there was some chemical or something in the breastfeeding milk or whatever that just caused the women to not be able to breastfeed or lactate properly. Maybe it was, I can't remember the exact science of it, right? But basically it caused an awful lot of dependence on this for-profit company to deliver an essential good onto the population that if they don't have, then their babies will literally starve to death, right? And they just do that shit. They just do that because they can, because they have the money to be able to bring this into actuality, to cause this suffering for the sake of financial capital. They can just do that because they want an extension on their fucking house, because they want another Lexus, because they want their wife to have some nice platinum ring rather than just a standard gold one, right? They can do all of this just because they can, right? Because the system that we have of general, global trade and all that kind of stuff facilitates it. And we allow companies to get away with horrible, horrible fucking acts because they have the money to be able to buy their way into various forms of power or to buy their way out of trouble, right? When legal prosecution or whatever comes towards them, right? And the way that we kind of try and keep that in check with the current system that we have is via the media. The media is meant to keep these people in check. The media is meant to be the ones releasing the big story going, Nescafe causes a load. It's not Nescafe, is it? It's, the fucking thing I mean. It's the media that will come out of the big news story going, oh, Nescafe's, causing all the women to not be able to breastfeed in Ghana, right? But the problem is with the media is that it's been very splintered into various motivations. The Daily Mail has a different motivation from the Daily Wire, right, which has a different motivation from The Sun, which has a different one from Al Jazeera, right? The way I think about it, right, if I want to get the news, I go to the news source that has the least to do with that thing. So for instance, on Palestine, I'm not going to look at Al Jazeera. On Ukraine, I'm not going to look at RT News, right? On American stuff, I'm not going to look at Fox. On British stuff, I'm not going to look at the BBC. But Fox doesn't give a shit about the domestic politics of Birmingham. So if they do a news article on Birmingham, I'm more likely to trust it, even though it is Fox, even though it's, a complete fucking tabloid rag, right, that has to call itself entertainment because it can't call itself news under the eyes of the law, and that's the thing that they use to defend themselves from prosecution, right? They say that they're not news, they're just entertainment, and that's how they can get away with it, right? So that's fair enough, I suppose. But they don't give a shit about the people in Birmingham because the people in Birmingham aren't reading the Fox News. They don't have anything to gain from appealing to those people and to trying to push their propaganda onto those people. Similarly, the Birmingham fucking Gazette isn't going to do the most interesting, like, partisan fucking take on the American election cycle, because they don't care about the American election cycle. So when I look at various things that are going on that can be quite partisan, that people are fighting over and arguing about, I tend to go to the thing that has the least intrinsic, obvious bias towards it, and just in the sense that it's not affiliated with it. That's why for Palestine, I'm not going to go to Al Jazeera, even though it might be a pro-Palestine thing. They have a reason to be a pro-Palestine thing. That's why I wouldn't go to RT News for the Ukraine war, because they have a reason to be putting these stories out there, because they want Russia to win, obviously, because they're a Russian-owned fucking thing. The same way that Al Jazeera wants Palestine to win, because Qatar is sort of buddy-buddy with Palestine. So all of these different media conglomerates, right, all have different motivations. And so I think the fact that they are so splintered means that we can't just, tackle all the big corporate misdeeds that are going on in buildings like that, all the little bits of trading corruption that are knocking about, all the people that get money off of scamming so many people. But it's all right because it's not called scamming because, this one wasn't an investment, or, oh, well, they had it coming, or whatever, right? Just because they're stupid doesn't mean they deserve to lose all their money, right? Is the way I feel about it. Because if you're going out there purposefully trying to rob people of their money for your own gain, and you're manipulating people into doing that, I don't think you can fully blame the person that got scammed or the victim in this. I think you should be blaming the perpetrators. They're up there in the fucking, not in that particular building, but just in the general financial district as a whole. Because, yeah, sure, we need the economy to go around, and this is kind of the heart and center of the economy. But at the same time, it's not the be-all and end-all. This isn't the place where everyday people go. This isn't a normal civilization in this particular area. You need to go far away to the places that aren't causing, that don't hold all the power to be able to get some normalcy from people knocking about. So yeah, that's kind of my little rant. It's a bit all over the place, I know. But look, I'm not a big fan of the financial sector. I'm not a big fan of, the things that are knocking about, controlling things. And I don't mean that in like a conspiracy, the elites are taking control over the government and blah, 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 and the Illuminati. I'm not talking about that. I just mean because the world is a lot more boring than we like to give it credit for. And I feel like conspiracy theorists want the world to be more entertaining, and so they see the evil that is going about and they try and make an entertaining justification for it. When the reality is, it's just paper pushers just ticking boxes that cause all the fucking people to starve to death in Africa, that cause all the people in this country to go into poverty, that cause fascism to rise in America and all over the fucking Western world, to be honest. It's bog standard, boring paper pushers that cause so many of the issues. And I just wanted to make that clear, that the villains here aren't like fucking cackling fucking Disney villains that are like, oh yes, let's kill all those fucking starving Africans. No, they're not like that. They're just boring motherfuckers that are going to go back to their 8-bedroom fucking house with their boring fucking wife, their boring fucking kids, where they're going to have Eggs Benedict for lunch every single fucking day because they can afford to get a 20 fucking pound Eggs Benedict from Liverpool Street in some fucking posh restaurant that's up a big set of stairs with big glass windows all around it. Fuck off. I'm sick of all of that. I'm sick of all the fucking... I don't know how to really put it into significant words, just how much I detest the financial district as a whole. And at the same, the obvious criticism will be, oh yeah, but you make use of the economy, you buy goods and services, so you're reliant on those people. Yeah, just because I'm reliant on them doesn't mean I have to like them, does it? The same way a kid doesn't have to like their abusive parents, right? Yeah, sure, they're putting a roof over their head and giving them fucking 2 meals and a fucking glass of water every day. Doesn't make them good people though, does it? So that was my little rant, a little bit of an angry one, I do know. I've got bird shit on my hands, lovely. It's the elites fucking taking all the birds, turn them into robots so that they can shit on my hands. Oh, I managed to clear it off. It was quite wet. Yeah. So, yeah, on that very strange note, thank you very much for watching this unhinged rant about the people that are in charge of the whole thing. If you have any thoughts that are a bit more educated than mine, a bit more informed than mine, please leave them in the comments below about, how I'm probably wrong on all of this and all that sort of stuff. But, just because I'm wrong doesn't mean I have to stop talking about it. So, yeah, I know that wasn't a very logical thing to say, but I don't know. the whole point of this channel is I've got opinions and stuff, and I want to get them out there. And if you agree with them, then cool. If you don't agree with them, you don't have to keep watching them. You know, there's loads of knobheads out there giving their little opinions on the little things because they think they're so important. Look, I don't think I'm that important, right? But I would appreciate if I wasn't subjugated, even indirectly, by those knobheads over there. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you got something out of it. Love you all. You're all brilliant. And yeah, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.